What did breakfast look like in World War II? A day in the life on the home front. April 1943. A quiet dawn rises over London, Manila, Moscow, Berlin, Tokyo, and New York. But in thousands of homes across the world, breakfast is not a time of abundance. It's a ritual of survival. What did a typical breakfast taste like across nations during World War II, when sugar, eggs, meat, even tea were rationed? From British kitchens crowded with ration books, to Filipino households under Japanese occupation, to Soviet cities facing acute starvation, each morning meal was a testament to endurance, ingenuity, and the human spirit. If you want to explore history through the everyday lives of people, not just battles, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Which country's home front breakfast surprises you most? On the British home front, the Ministry of Food controlled nearly everything. Sugar, butter, bacon, meat, all strictly rationed. Each family received a ration book with coupons. A typical weekly British ration might include just 2 ounces of butter, 8 ounces of sugar, a single fresh egg per week, and even tea was limited to 2 ounces. In America, things were different but no less constrained. The Office of Price Administration, OPA, managed rationing. Sugar, coffee, fats, meat, canned goods, all controlled by a points system. By 1942, sugar became one of the first items to be rationed. Meanwhile, in the Soviet Union, civilians were starving. Bread was the lifeline, potatoes sometimes substituted for flour, and wild greens were foraged in desperation. The state provided bread rations, but starvation and malnutrition were real, especially in 1942 to 43. In Nazi Germany, ration cards, Marken, determined how much bread, fat, cheese, and sugar you could have. By 1944 to 45, German civilians' rations fell so low that chocolate, coffee, and even imported fruits like bananas vanished. On the occupied Philippine Islands, under Japanese rule, rice became a political and physical battleground. After Japan occupied Manila, the Japanese authorities set fixed daily rice rations. Filipinos waited for hours in long lines, queued by coupon, just for a modest amount of their staple grain. And in Japan, civilians endured calorie cuts, food shortages, and coupon systems that prioritized the military over the home population. Chapter 2. Everyday breakfasts and personal stories. Let's step into the homes of ordinary people, spanning continents, and taste their mornings in war. In Britain, Mrs. Margaret Thompson, a fictional, every woman built from typical archived accounts, rises before dawn. Her ration book opens carefully: 2 ounces butter, 8 ounces of sugar, a single fresh egg per week, and even tea was limited to 2 ounces. In America, Mr. and Mary Sanchez of Detroit won't waste a drop. Their sugar ration is only half a pound per week, so Mary makes mock orange marmalade from citrus-flavored fruit syrups they cultivated in their backyard garden. John brews coffee thinly, stretching powdered milk to make light but sustaining cups. They clip their OPA coupons with precision, counting every point. In the Soviet Union, in Leningrad, Anna, a factory worker, sleeps in a small communal apartment. When she wakes, her ration card reads bread 400 grams. She warms a piece of black bread loaves, even though the crust is stale and the crumb heavy. She eats it slowly, savoring every bite, washing it down with weak tea made from foraged herbs. Her neighbor, Igor, scavenges wild plants, nettles, dandelion greens, to stir into a thin porridge, a desperate but creative act to keep his children alive. In wartime Germany, Frau Dietrich holds her Ration marken. Her weekly meat coupon might be enough for just a few slices. Coffee is long gone, replaced by grain ersatz coffee, made from roasted barley or acorns. She makes Eintopf, a one-pot stew of potatoes, cabbage, offal, thick, simple, and shared among her family. As the war drags on, even this becomes harder. By late war, calories shrink. Some Germans survive on barely 900 to 1,000 calories per day. In the Philippines, Mrs. Santos walks half a block down to a Japanese-operated rice depot, ration coupon in hand. Long queues wrap around dusty streets. She carries a wooden bowl to receive her daily 1,200 grams of rice, just enough for her family, but hardly a luxury. On riceless days, she scrapes together coconut and sugar jam made with minimal sugar coupons, stirring it for hours over a smoky stove. In Japan, Mr. Yamamoto, a factory worker in Osaka, measures out his daily rice allocation, often less than 300 grams. He drinks weak tea, rarely enjoys fish, and sometimes trades cigarette coupons for small vegetables on the black market. His children go to bed hungry sometimes, but he holds on to pride. He still shows up to work at dawn, working for the war effort, even as his stomach rumbles.
Chapter 3. Hardship, Creativity, and Community. With rationing deep into the war, breakfast became more than a meal. It was a measure of resilience, a creative battleground. In Britain, families were encouraged to grow food. The Dig for Victory campaign turned parks, allotments, and back gardens into vegetable plots. Mrs. Thompson would harvest carrots, potatoes, and greens, stretching her ration coupons, adding nutrients to her porridge and toast. American citizens joined Victory Garden clubs too. One grandmother, Mrs. Stevens, planted tomatoes and beans in her yard, then shared with neighbors. She would trade a jar of home-canned beans for a friend's powdered milk, mixing and matching food to make hearty stews for breakfast. Their community felt strong. They were part of something bigger. In the Soviet Union, where central planning met severe food crisis, neighbors pooled resources. Anna's block formed a small cooperative. One family foraged mushrooms, another delivered wild berries. Someone boiled sap from birch trees to make a sweet syrup. The state provided canteens for workers. In 1943 alone, the Soviet Union served around 16 billion meals through factory canteens. In Germany, some women protested. In Witten, in 1943, hundreds of women gathered to demand their food ration cards after being forced to evacuate and lose their coupons. Their voices echoed in city squares, a rare act of defiance fueled by hunger and desperation. Back in the Philippines, during the Japanese occupation, food riots broke out. When rice rations were mismanaged, crowds gathered to demand fair distribution. On the home front, mothers cooked coconut jam, made bread from sweet potatoes, and preserved whatever vegetables they could, a daily act of resistance, of feeding hope. In Japan, the black market grew. The underground traded everything: rice, sugar, even medicine. Mr. Yamamoto secretly bought dried peas from a farmer, simmered them with water, and used the thick broth to stretch his rice ration in the morning. He risked war police raids, but hunger left him no choice. Chapter 4. Reflection and Legacy. By the war's end, breakfast had become a symbol of resourcefulness, sacrifice, and survival. In Britain, the ration system remained in place well past 1945, but the gardens, the radio broadcasts, the communal spirit endured. People looked back and realized rationing wasn't just about scarcity, it shaped a generation. In the United States, Families who had stretched every ration coupon found new pride in self-reliance. Victory gardens evolved into suburban lawns. Kitchen wisdom from wartime recipe books passed down through decades. In the Soviet Union, the memory of starvation remained. Millions survived the siege of Leningrad, but for them, breakfast would never be taken for granted. Wild greens, foraged foods, and the shared meal in a factory canteen, these became stories told to children. For Germans, the hunger of the last war years left deep scars. Ration books, grain substitutes, ersatz coffee. By 1945, many consumed fewer than 1,000 calories daily. A generation grew up with memories of empty cupboards, improvised stews, and the smell of rotting potatoes. In the Philippines, families who survived Japanese occupation carried on. They rebuilt farms, replanted gardens, and used the cooking lessons they learned under duress in peacetime. Even today, stories of mothers queuing for rice or stirring coconut jam on smoky stoves are shared in families as part of their identity. And in Japan, after surrender, food aid came, but the memory of wartime hunger was there. Black market tales, coupon struggles, and meals of rice stretched thin, these were chapters in post-war rebuilding. Breakfast in World War II wasn't just a meal. It was austerity, endurance, community, and sometimes protest. From London to Manila, Moscow to Berlin, the world's people made do. They clipped ration books, shared gardens, foraged wild greens, queued for food, traded on black markets, and through it all, they woke up each morning and found a way to eat, to hope, to survive. If you found this journey into what breakfast looked like on the World War II home front moving, meaningful, or eye-opening, I'd love your help. Please hit the like button. It really helps this video reach more people. Subscribe if you haven't already. That way, you won't miss future videos where I dig into the human stories behind history. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear which country's homefront breakfast surprised you most. Was there a detail that you never expected? Your support through watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting means a lot. It helps me bring more little-known history stories to life. Thank you for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. In war, every bowl of porridge was a small victory. Thanks a lot for subscribing, liking, and commenting to our video.